If you could invite any artist to your farm for a songwriting retreat, who would it be and why?
Well, it's got to be Miley.
Oh.
I'm like, we got to have somebody from the South. We got to have somebody actually talented. We got to have somebody who could sing because she be singing down.
I'll tell you what, though, by the time she leaves, you'd have a ton more animals.
Oh, I know.
Welcome back, Stoners.
Yep, welcome back. And do you want to do her intro since you're the professional
I
one?
would love to.
Ooh.
This week on the pod, we have Tayla Parx.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay,
Hey.
I thought I wore a lot of hats, but here you are also wearing a bunch of hats. You're a Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, producer, and entrepreneur. We'll get into some of the hits that you've helped write. But you also have a sustainable farm outside of Nashville. You live here in Nashville, which I love that. And I'm so excited to hear more about that.
Absolutely. I'm
And,
happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming over.
Before she gets in, I feel like you have a little clump of lipstick the other side. Down. Right. No, yeah. Right there. You got it, I think.
I think you got it. Boom, boom.
Good
Sorry,
looking
I couldn't
out.
even
Okay,
fucking just
Okay.
like.
She can't see shit.
I
She
can't
probably
see
doesn't know
shit.
what she's looking at.
Then it must have been really bad because I can see it.
Okay. Put your glasses on and then tell me something's wrong with my face. Anyway, welcome.
I love this. Come on. We got the mommy daughter
I was
duo.
taking care of her.
Yeah.
She came for me.
Look, honestly, it reminds me a lot of me and my mom. I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you have this little thing. You're like, what? Did I just get got? Okay.
Where does your mom live?
My mom lives in LA. We're from
shucks.
Texas.
Okay.
And now she's just like, I like this weather here. I think I'll stay.
Yeah, that's me.
That's her.
Yep.
It's
yeah.
all about the weather for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been in Nashville?
I've been here a year and a half.
Okay, pretty new.
Yeah, I'm pretty new. I started to look for places a few years ago, and it just took me forever because I needed to find something that I can be like, okay, still close to, downtown Nashville, still close to all of that, close enough, but far enough to still do my farming and stuff. So,
Totally.
yeah, I finally found my way and I love it. I have like one of my neighbors, they have a bee farm and another one has a flower farm. And
Wow.
yeah, all my dogs run around and it's nice.
That's amazing. So you grew up in Texas.
I grew up in Texas.
Did you grow up
I
on a
moved-
farm?
No.
No.
This is all new. My parents think I'm insane. And my family, now when I try to get them to come and visit, they're like, okay, so I hang out with my neighbor John Cripps, who's lived on that same street since he was 18. He's 70 something now. And the other neighbors. And so I have these different artists, they'll come and visit me. They're like, so you're just hanging out, with, 60, 70 something year old people that's just been there since they were like 17. I'm like,
You're like, yeah.
yes, we go on the side by sides. We go into the woods. Like, it's so much fun.
It's the best.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Okay, well, if you didn't grow up on a farm, where did the dream to have your own farm come from?
Man, it's my ADHD brand. I will go down a rabbit hole fast. And I think that probably 5 years ago, I started to be like, how am I spending my money? What am I voting for with my dollar? So every time I started to see it, every time I buy something, I'm voting and saying, these are the things that I agree with. So I was wondering, am I supporting small businesses? Am I supporting, women-owned businesses? Am I supporting queer people? Where do I want my dollar to go? And I realized I was like, man, I've been shopping at a bunch of big brand kind of stores, and I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing is reflecting how my lifestyle, how I would like that to be. And so it led me into this sustainable kind of loop. And that was a whole adventure in its own. So then I was like, okay, I can do my part by, something it started off composting, right? Then it grew into herbs and all those other things. And now I'm like, okay, it just is kind of going all the way from there. But it really started off just being more intentional with how I purchase things, what my consumerism was.
So now, do you have cows? Do you have pig? Like, how deep in it are you? Is the question.
Right now, we have goats and we have like our dogs, and then we have our chickens.
Okay.
I was just last night looking for either a donkey or an alpaca because I was like, either one of those. Exactly. Either one of those. Now, with the donkey, you could get one of them, but they're not so good with dogs. So I was like, sometimes.
Hear me
sometimes.
out. I've got 5 donkeys.
Put me on.
You can come down and see them after the podcast if you'd like.
Please.
But you know, a lot of people get them because they naturally deter coyotes and predators, which is great if you have livestock. And I will say, when I first got mine, they like wanted to chase the dogs a little bit, but it honestly, like, they got acclimated to them so quick. I have a husky. I think you saw her when you walked in, and I have 2 other dogs, and they go down to the barn every day, and I don't have any issues with any of the donkeys and the dogs. So, I'm a big donkey fan.
Okay.
I would suggest getting 2 if you're going to get any, though. They like having a buddy, but they are the easiest animals that I have. They're the lowest maintenance. They need the least amount of food. Like, they're so easy. They live outside, and they're so friendly and cuddly and sweet, and I just love them.
So I just got to give it a try. I just got to get the right donkey.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying. Okay, because like this lady was scaring me. She was like, never do it. They'll stomp them out. And I'm like, it was just crazy. But you know what? Yes, I'm going to meet your donkeys, and I feel like they're going to give good vibes. You give good vibes. Usually people are like a little reflection of like their animal. It's like, okay, you chill. All right, let's go.
Yeah. I think, anything's possible. I mean, alpacas are cool too. I don't know anything
but
about them.
Get like 4 of them because they also like
herd animals.
They're herd animals.
Here's the thing with the alpacas. Like I said, I don't know much, but I think you have to shear them a couple times a year, if not more.
Oh, wow.
So there's some maintenance with those.
You do. And I'm like trying to, like, I'm not trying to use like we're building different things or whatever, and I'm trying to use like sheep wool and alpaca wool fiber, natural fiber for like insulation and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
It's a whole nerdy adventure that I'm on.
But don't alpacas spit on you?
Wait a minute.
Technically, those are llamas, but they're very similar, and I feel like they can.
Yeah,
I feel like they
I
can.
do not want my animals spitting on.
Let's give it a Google.
Me neither. Because it's giving gone.
Yeah, it's giving gone. That's a great song.
It's giving gone.
Seriously, that's hilarious.
They do, right?
Don't they?
Alpacas too.
But they do.
Yeah, I was thinking.
That's a way to communicate. Oh my goodness, they're so cute, but no.
Oh no.
Nope.
Look, I'm learning even more. Like, that's why you got to get around animal people, because it's like, wait a minute, I heard this.
Yeah. There's the cutest alpaca farm. It's kind of, I guess it's in Leapers Fork.
Yeah, it's not far.
And they have so many cute, and they have blonde and like the dark brown, and they are all so precious.
They are very cute. But I think alpacas can get pricey.
Oh yeah,
I think they're expensive.
They can definitely get up there because you have all these different types of like fiber. Like, I was like, oh, I want some Angora goats. I'm trying to get some cashmere. If I'm gonna have to do some, if I'm gonna have to do this, let's do it right. You know what I mean? So you start to get into, it's a whole different world of like just fiber and all those different things. Yeah, it's crazy.
Goodness. So what does a normal day look like for you at home in Nashville? Or
Okay. Well, yesterday it looks like I had to wake up early because we had just got back in town, so it was snowing. And that's something that I'm getting. Not snowing. There was snow on the ground still. From when I got back in town. That's been a learning curve for me. So I had to work on some fencing to separate the paddock. I had to do that and figure out a stronger way to keep my dogs away from my goats until they're supposed to be together.
Yep.
And then that was at like 7 a.m. I took a break around 11 to start having some meetings, and then I'll take like a little hour from the farm stuff and, have my meetings. Everybody's waking up in LA or everywhere else. And then like if I'm on tour, then I get to just kind of wait until probably around 2 p.m. to go to the studio. If I'm not, if I'm not on tour, 2 p.m. studio. But if I am on tour, I have to handle everything kind of prior, and then that's a whole different thing. But right now, It's chill. I wake up in the morning, I do the things because I am a morning person.
You are.
Yeah.
See, I'm not really.
Okay.
Which makes like the farm stuff, like it can be a little tricky for me when I have to get up early and start early.
Yeah.
Because I was telling them earlier, like once the daylight's gone, like there's not a whole lot else you can do. So
Exactly.
I feel like I'm constantly trying to fit it all in before the sun goes down. You know?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
But your day-to-day sounds like mine, to be honest.
It does.
It's like a mix of like, okay, farm, okay, emails, okay, horses, okay, then podcasts, like, and then, you know, then on the weekends I'm traveling to DJ and stuff. So, and people are like, I don't get it. Like people look at me and they're like, you have a farm? Like this doesn't make any sense. Or on the flip side, my farm friends and my horse friends are like, you DJ? This makes no sense, you know?
Yep. One of the people that works on the ranch, he literally just for the first time saw me with makeup today.
Yeah.
Like, cause I was like going on my way. I was like, okay, I gotta go do my other job now. And he was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
funny.
So this is like the first time he saw me like it was with makeup and was like, nice.
So you do your own farm work? Like do you work on your
A
own
lot
fences?
a lot of it I've been doing, but I get help though. Like sometimes, even whether it's a neighbor or whether it's just a contractor or anything like that. But a lot of the stuff, just because like I've never worked with my hands ever in my life before until like now, and now I've built some crazy things. But like I just needed to learn a new skill. I needed to do something that was like a challenge. But I love design and I love engineering things like to make my farm life easier. So like I don't have to worry about if my chickens or my animals will get water because I just put it on a timer and it just fills it up. I don't have to worry about if they're going to get out. Like engineering ways of how can I make this work with my lifestyle?
That's cool.
You know, so in order to do that, I have to kind of be able to figure out how they all kind of work a little bit.
Yeah. So you're loving Nashville.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much because like being from Texas, I was like, after a while being in LA, I was like, I miss the South, but do I want to go home to Texas? Do I want to go to Tennessee, which I've been loving coming here since, you know, probably I was like 11 or something the first time I came here. And then I was like, yeah, it's giving Nashville. It's giving Nashville because it's like the perfect blend of all of these musicians and the just livelihood of everything and the culture. And then also I can be in the city or I can be gone.
Totally.
You know, and so I'm so thankful and grateful like that I can kind of balance out both now.
Exactly. It is a city that you can do that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really the only city. That's what makes it so
about
unique.
Austin?
Austin doesn't have the same network of songwriters and music studios and recording studios that Nashville has.
Got it.
That's the difference, right? It's
Exactly.
like Austin is great for live music, but as far as like the studio network goes, I feel like it's Nashville.
Yeah.
Even more so than LA in some ways. So it makes it like unique in that way of, not that there's many of us that want to do music and run a farm, but if you do, Nashville's the place to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think also like the community of musicians here, like it's just very, very different. I think, definitely different than the LA community or the New York community. It's something that is very familiar yet far away. Like it makes you a better creative. It makes you for me, it makes me a better top liner. It makes the level up of like, okay, this is where real songwriters are. Not that they're not in other places too, but this is one of the places where it started.
Yeah, it's true.
Where everything started for how music evolved, period. So you have all these incredible creatives and just people out here, even if they're not doing music, they are a part of that music legacy.
Yeah, it's true. And it's so funny because like everyone we've had on the podcast, like everybody knows everyone. Like they all know each other. Like, oh my gosh, I love, you know, it's just like, it feels like a community.
Yeah.
Very much.
Which I love that.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys, I don't know about y'all, but it's warming up here in Nashville and I'm legitimately already like looking at flights for like beach trips, summer vacations. And I am here to tell you that Built lets you earn points on rent payments and redeem them towards flights, hotels, and so much more. One of your biggest investments should get you more than just a roof over your head. Am I right? It should get you a vacation. Let me explain. There's no cost
to join Built, and as a member, you'll earn valuable points on rent and on your everyday spending. Built points can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, even the ones you haven't heard of. There are over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties around the world that you can redeem your Built points towards. Points can also be redeemed towards a future rent payment and unique experiences that only Built members can access. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, why not? Start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com/Cyrus. That's joinbilt.com/Cyrus. That's joinbuilt.com/Cyrus to start earning points on your rent payments today and enjoy that vacation. All right, y'all, if you've been following me, my podcast, my Instagram for any amount of time, you've heard me talk about Nutrafol. I am such a big believer in this hair supplement. I've been taking it for years, and I'm telling you guys, this long hair, this is not easy for me. It's like I have very fine hair. I put it through a lot of stress between the bleach, the traveling, and all the styling I do when I'm DJing and everything. So I definitely need as much help as I can get when it comes to my hair health. If you're not familiar, Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand. It's trusted by over 1.5 million people. You can see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. There are so many different root causes of thinning hair. I know that mine's definitely a little bit genetic, thanks Tish. But other things too, like your hormones, your stress levels, how much sleep you're getting, all these things can affect your hair health. So what I love about Nutrafol is that it's physician formulated with 100% drug-free ingredients that target all these root causes. And the best part is you can purchase online, no prescription required, and you can put it on auto ship so that you're always getting automatic deliveries at your door. You never have to think about it, and you never run out of product. So start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol, and for a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Cyrus. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code Cyrus. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Cyrus.
All right, well, let's talk about your music career for a minute. I could literally talk about farm stuff forever. But this is pretty insane. I feel like this is how it goes with songwriters. People are always like, you wrote what? You did what? You know what I mean? But like, it is crazy. So like just two that are just in my notes here that you were part of was Ariana Grande's 7 Rings, which was a smash. Panic at the Disco's High Hopes, which is another smash. And those, even though they're both pop songs, like they're very different, which is so cool. And so I would just love to know, like, what music did you grow up listening to? How did you know that you wanted to be a songwriter? And clearly, like, you work in different genres and different styles. And so how do you find that blend and find your unique style?
Well, I definitely would say, like, I grew up listening to a lot of, like, Brandi and Brian McKnight, and then there's a little bit of Spice Girls in there, a little bit of
How old are you?
Carpenters.
We can cut it if you don't.
I'm 31.
31 years. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I did the same, but I'm 37.
Okay,
but like a lot of the same, similar.
I'm like,
music.
We're gonna be friends after this.
I love
feel
the
like
Carpenters vibe.
Yeah, the Carpenters, Isaac Hayes. My parents, they always would just be like, whatever you decide to do in this life, be a student of it. And so they would introduce me to a lot of different kinds of music. And my mom and my dad had completely different taste in music, period. And so they would be like, okay, I'm gonna play what my taste is. And it just evolved. And then it just was like, okay, growing up, as I started to I probably started to really listen to like rap music when I was in college and started to be like, oh, I understand this type of lyricism from a different way. So it's just kind of evolved and evolved. And when I first started to officially call myself a songwriter, I was probably like 16 or 17. And it was like, when I first came in, it was like, you know, as a woman, they place you into a lot of boxes. At the time, I was also a young woman. And then also being a young Black woman, that was a whole different gumbo of things. So it was like the first box was something that I was just like, okay, coming into this, I know that people are going to try to put me into whatever box. But as long as I'm the greatest that I can be, it doesn't matter. None of those things can actually apply to me. And so it led me to be like, a fun game for myself was like, how many number ones can we get in different genres? Like, can we do a pop number one? And once we do that, then can we do like a R&B thing? Like, can we do now we've done like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 different genres and number ones, like Latin music and everything. And it just gave me a fun game to kind of just have for my own sake.
Yeah, that's amazing. So did you start out thinking like, I'll just write songs? Because now you also have a solo artist career and you put an album out. Where was the moment where you knew that you also wanted to step into the spotlight on your own and have your own artist career?
I think it was like the moment where I knew that I didn't have to be one or the other. When you first come into it as a songwriter, most artists don't like working with songwriters who are also artists.
Yeah.
There's something weird about it. I don't know why. It's like mainly ego, but not just ego, because I also get it as an artist. It's like you don't know how capable this person is of separating those worlds.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's a scary thing. And that takes proper development on the writer's side. And that's a whole different conversation. But so I completely get it. But then for me, I also had to decide there's a certain amount of selfishness and ego that you need as an artist, right? That doesn't kind of add up as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Because being a songwriter is all about helping somebody else's world.
Exactly.
And so I was like, I don't know if I'm as me oriented in the way that I need to be to only be an artist. It's just not like my personality. I'm very like outgoing. I'm very like, and I love to be on stage. But I can only realistically say that I want to be an artist if I can also disappear and build other people's worlds, and then get my creative juices flowing in a different way, and then go back to it.
Yeah.
And so once I realized, okay, now that I've worked with all of these different people, I understand that I have something very different to say than all these different people, and a perspective, and that's what artistry is whatever your perspective is of the same subjects that we sing about: love, heartbreak, the world, whatever those 3 or 4 topics that we kind of all sing about over and over and over again, or rap about, whatever. Once I realized, I can be both, because now I know that I have this clear separation and a clear identity for myself. Okay, I'm comfortable with being both now.
Yeah, that's very cool. I do feel like a lot of like progress has been made in the sense that like I remember as a kid when his career was like popping off, I felt like there was very much like there's in country music, there's artists and there's songwriters.
Totally.
And it felt like even with my dad, like a lot of his songs he didn't write, and that seemed to kind of be the formula for country, which was really interesting. And then now fast forward, I feel like there's quite a few artists that I can just think of off the top of my head that started as songwriters maybe and now have a huge artist career. My buddy Sam Hunt is one. He had a couple of huge cuts before he ever had an artist career. I don't know if you know Ernest or have written with him.
Yeah.
But he's somebody that like started trying to have his own career, then started songwriting, and now has another like huge artist career. Hardy's another one. Like there's so many people that do both. And so I feel like it's interesting to see country music kind of change in that way,
Absolutely. And I think the music landscape has changed over the past few years because the singer-songwriter is back.
Which I love.
Exactly. It's changing. It's changing the musical landscape because stories become more sincere. Stories become more just personal and unique. Like what a pop song is, for instance, or a country song is now is very different. And what a pop star is now is very different than before.
So different.
Hearing like a Chappell Roan's lyrics or whatever, those very specific and quirky things, it would have been too quirky maybe just 5 years ago.
For sure.
And I love that. I love that the past few years we've been pushing the boundary of what is a fucking pop star.
Yeah.
And even Molly was one of those people that really, really started to change. We don't have to be squeaky clean, perfect, but I can be whatever I am in this moment.
Yeah.
And that is something that is like, phew, okay, I believe I have a lot of hope for what the future of this different music is because, the singer-songwriter is back. And then one thing, like, I love what you said about, like, your dad. He's like, a lot of the songs maybe he didn't write. But also, it takes a really smart and really talented person, an artist, to know when you just let the person that writes a song every single day who is amazing at writing write your story. Know your lane, you know? And if sometimes it's both of them, then great.
I mean, there's so many massive artists that don't write their music.
Exactly.
I mean, I feel like Rihanna, like,
perfect example.
perfect example.
Perfect example.
And, you know, it's just really cool to see, you know. I mean, you can
do both.
It's both.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a talent to be able to, the way that Rihanna will sing a song that she hasn't written and you believe that it is hers. That right there is a talent, because I remember growing up, you know, I used to sing people's songs and my dad would be like, you're on key, but I can't feel you. And that is a very, very different thing. So like at 9 years old, I was like, okay, I'm singing this song by this 40-year-old person, and maybe I don't relate to it, but I understood the concept of feeling something like from an artist, no matter if they wrote it or not.
No, I definitely, like, for me, the songs that I love are the songs that I can feel them. And even like musicians, my favorite musicians and guitar players, I feel like Chris Stapleton, or there's so many guitar players, like when they play their guitar, you can just feel the emotion. Oh, I just love it.
And making that guitar sing.
I mean, seriously sing. I love it.
Me too. What is the most important lesson that you've learned about staying true to yourself in an industry that often pressures artists to fit into a specific mold or a specific lane?
It's actually interesting because my mom told me probably like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago now, I will never tell you that you are doing too much. Because when I first got started in like, I'm such a person who's really inspired by the business part of the music business as well. People would be like, you don't need to be worrying about the business side. You don't need to be, doing it, or you can't do that and this, and you can't be an entrepreneur and this. And it's like, actually, I can. And that's what I built the whole tailor-made brand off of. Being is literally saying whatever I do in this world will be my special touch on it. Whether it's management, whether it's publishing, whether it's boom, I have a unique perspective on how I wish that I would see things doing. And for me, I'm the type of personality, if I don't like the way that a major label system or a publishing system or whatever is working, I'll create my own.
Well, and I think too, like, if you can, like, as an artist, if you can see the business perspective of it all, it's only going to help you, and vice versa. Like, sometimes, like, how much do we wish like labels or record execs could just see from the artist's perspective? It's like, if you are aware enough to be able to like take yourself out of it and see every side of it, it's just going to help in the long run, and it's just going to make anything you do like bigger and better. And
no one cares about your music, your business, the way
you do, right?
Exactly.
That's why when Molly, being 12 years old, there was no one that was going to care about, mostly at that time, about her than me. And so that's why I've stayed in there and managed her since she was 12, because it was just like, I could see it from day one, the people. So being 31, Molly's 32 now, and really she's kind of stepped in, and now she, where didn't really think about the business, all of a sudden she also is thinking that way. And, again, like, nobody cares about you or your art more than you.
Exactly. No matter how many people you have on payroll, no matter what the best lawyers that you have, the best phone, make sure that you understand the right questions to ask these people.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing, is like the most harm that you'll do to yourself in this whole world is the things that you don't know.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to know it all. Nobody's going to get out of this life, scrape free. However, eventually, like, understanding that also people like us, understanding this business and the kind of heart that you have, it's important to understand the business, because the next people after you and the next people after them and the next people after them, your knowledge is affecting that. And so I know that if now I am involved in creating things with the Recording Academy, like Songwriter of the Year award, or fighting for, the Spotify shares to be correct for songwriters and how they get paid, if I'm able to do that, then that means that, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, writers will still be able to afford to be writers. So that takes me being not being like, fuck it, I'm getting my check, bye. You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like it's easy to like, especially as an artist, to be like, well, I'm just here to write songs, or I'm just here to do XYZ. But it's like, well, okay, but if there's no checks and balances on the business side of it, then that's only hurting you, you know? And I feel like the more knowledgeable we can be about all the things, just the better for the whole, like your whole career and just your whole trajectory, really.
Yeah, you don't have to be doing it all. You just need to know a little bit. You just need to know enough to know what is the right question to ask and who to ask, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Me, Bill Soap.
True.
Yeah.
There's nothing he doesn't know.
Come on.
If you could give advice to your younger self and when you were just starting out, what would it be?
I would just say, I mean, fuck it, do it. They're gonna judge you anyway,
Yeah.
no matter what you do. So it might as well be something that's true to whatever your goals are.
Yeah.
You know, I was very sure, like, okay, of the life I wanted to like live, no matter how it's kind of gone like this way. The acting kind of thing kind of popped up, and then I was like, okay, now I've done Nickelodeon stuff until 17, and then I don't want to be on the screen, and now I want to do voiceover acting, and then we do Sims, and then I've seen that, like, and I've been the biggest kind of, the reflection has been like, look, if anybody could do it, you know, it was just a shock, honestly, that I could go from this to this to this to this to still get to where I was meant to be in the first place.
Yeah. But I definitely feel like that's like a theme we talk about a lot and hear a lot, is like being able to pivot. Because I feel like a lot of people get so stuck on like, well, no, but this is the path, or this is what I'm doing, or this is how I'm supposed to get there. But it's like, if you can get comfortable with the pivot, right? And with your path changing, whether you want it to or not, I feel like a lot of times, like if we just let go and let it take us, we actually get there quicker, or we get to like where we're really supposed to be, and it all ends up working out in the end.
Absolutely.
You know?
Because change, I feel like, is so hard for some people.
Definitely.
But honestly, if you're not changing, we talk about this, you're not growing, you're not evolving. And I think for what we do, I say we.
Come on, we.
But like if we don't grow and we don't evolve, it's, stays so stagnant. And I think you have to change and move with it to get where you are supposed to be.
Absolutely.
And especially somebody like you or Molly, who started in this business so young. I mean, gosh, the fact that you've done everything you've done and you're only 31.
It's crazy.
I know, as with Molly, when I think about everything she's done.
Yeah.
And she's so young. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about.
It's crazy. And to like me, I'm like, 31 is just a very random age.
Yeah.
But like, and I don't know a better word for it, but it's just like random and so weird to be like
in your 30s.
Yeah, it is. 30s, it's like you're not young, you're not old, like you're somewhere in between.
It's like, what my whole life I've been kind of like the kid like on the set or the mama, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, I'm really an adult now. Like I'm really an adult now.
I feel like that is. I feel like there is an awakening when you turn 30 for sure.
Yes, I have a Costco card now. I'm out here. I'm like, and Costco like, what's the snacks of the day?
I love it. That's too good. I have a Costco card. All right, you released your third studio album this past summer, Many Moons, Many Suns. I love that name. What inspired the deeply personal themes on that album?
Well, I think going back to like even what we were talking about with the artistry, it was the place where I could have my diary and be able to look back on all of my projects like in a kind of a consecutive like order. So I could listen to my very first mixtape to probably whatever my last album that I'm going to be able to do and literally be watching me grow up. So this project, I was engaged and then not engaged. And then that was like a whole thing in its own thing. Somebody who, in my previous records, I'm like, fuck marriage. Like, I don't believe in marriage, but I believe in partnership. Like, that's how it's kind of all evolved.
Exactly.
And so with this project, I was trying out different forms of like, what is my idea of a committed relationship? And how do I get through like kind of making my way past this first very, very serious relationship. My whole life has been kind of wrapped up in my career, and like that person, I really was like, oh, this is interesting. Like I care about something else, but it didn't work out. And I was like, wow. I used to be like, I wish I cared about something more than my career or my dogs or my family. And then it got me. I was like, I wanted to feel like I wanted somebody to touch me so deep that they could break my heart. One day. Like I wanted that so bad. And I finally got it. I got what I was asking for. And it hurt. And I was like, oh, this shit sucks.
Seriously bad.
You know?
There is nothing that can make you feel worse than heartbreak.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, oh, it is all.
It's physical. It's like
physical.
Oh.
I like when you go through it, you realize why they call it heartbreak. Like it hurt.
Yes. I was literally, there were some different scientists who were like, yeah, a lot of times it is physical. And the reason why they get those names is because of what happens. It's so crazy. Yeah. But this project is me going through my many moons and my many suns. Every time that I go through a dark period, there's always going to be something on the other side. So you have like songs like wedding songs, and that hook is just, this was supposed to be our wedding song.
I was going to ask you about that one.
And this is what I wanted it to sound like. I knew the score of what that day was going to be.
Oh, I have to No, honestly.
Yeah.
But I love that you said that, like, no matter what, there's going to be something on the other side of it. Absolutely. And I think when you're in it, so many people, including myself, and whether that's heartbreak or anxiety or, whatever you're going through in your life, when you're in it, it's so hard to realize that there is going to be something.
Yes.
There is going to be something on the other side. And I think it's, it's hard to see when you're really in it. But I can't wait to listen now.
Oh, yeah. That song is literally like reaching into your chest and ripping it out. Like,
those are the songs I love.
I know. And those are the ones that people tend to connect with the most,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, as versatile as heartbreak is, it's also like ties us all together. Like everyone's experienced some level of it, I feel. And it's like the one thing that anyone can listen to a song about heartbreak and be like, oh, I totally get that.
They
like
totally
I get
relate.
that,
Yeah, absolutely. But then so in the beginning, it's kind of like all of these different moments where it's like a little bit sad. And then you start to see me regain my strength. You start to see like records like Standing Up to the Wind. And in those ones, I'm saying lyrics like, and just like a tree standing up to the wind, I take my love back. Fuck you. We're out of here. And then, it just kind of starts to go in a more positive light. And I've met somebody new now and I'm in love and they're out here on the ranch with me.
Yeah.
And, honestly, it's crazy. I talk about going to Germany and cutting this person off and then meeting who is now my person. And so you see all of that in the album.
Are they German?
They are.
Oh, no,
they are.
Beyonce, like he's German.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
See, you had the importance.
Yes. And I freaking love him.
She's obsessed.
Like he's just
Come
the best.
on.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me a little bit about this.
Honestly, I just could not. I mean, I go on and on about my husband, but like Noah's man is, he is like, and I never thought like I would connect like so deeply, like, because there's every now and then language barriers or whatever, but like he's just the kindest human.
Come on.
So that's so cool that you went there
Yeah.
and you met someone new. That's yay.
So,
Absolutely.
do you guys live together now?
Yeah, we live together now.
Wow.
And so this project, it took me the longest out of any album I've ever done. So it really left room for me to fall out of love, back into love. Like this is over a span of years. And so the end of that project, you are introduced to the new person in my life.
That is so cool.
It's very interesting, like to listen to now. Yeah, my partner, they're like, I'll listen to the second half of the album.
I'm sure.
They're like, we don't even know. We don't care about the first half. We care about the many sons.
That's right.
That's hilarious.
It is so funny.
I love that.
All right, stoners, have you had difficulty focusing lately, or parenting pressures, maybe work challenges or school commitments, or even personal drama can wreak havoc on our ability to stay focused and productive? If this sounds like you, I know something that could make a difference, and it's the Calm app. Neglecting our needs for too long can lead to resentment and burnout. They do say you have to put on your oxygen mask before you help others. So if you're looking for ways to say yes to yourself and have more energy, less resentment, and better relationships, I know what can help. Calm. Calm is the #1 app for sleep and meditation, giving you the power to calm your mind and change your life. Everyone faces unique challenges in their daily lives, and mental health isn't about a cookie-cutter approach. That's why Calm offers a wide range of content and programs to help you navigate life's ups and downs. These include meditations to help you work through anxiety and stress, boost your focus, build healthier habits, and take better care of your physical well-being. They also have sleep stories, sleep meditations, and calming music that can help you drift off to restful sleep quickly and naturally. They also have these really cool grounding exercises, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, these short guided sessions use sensation, movement, and breath work to help you relax and reset. They've got expert-led talks to help you handle grief, improve self-esteem, care for relationships, and so much more. Calm literally puts the tools you need right in your pocket and can help you dedicate just a few minutes every day to live a happier, healthier life. So stress less, sleep more, and live better with Calm. For listeners of our show, Calm is offering an exclusive 40% off of a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/Cyrus. Just go to calm.com, that's CALM.com/Cyrus for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/Cyrus.
So you know what I'm really not great at? And that is going to the dermatologist, which I need to be better at because I feel like skincare is so important. But most of the time when you call, it takes forever to get in. And it really is just kind of a hassle with everybody's busy schedules. So I love this brand, Apostrophe. I have used Apostrophe for quite some time. What I loved is it gives you access to expert dermatologists and their whole team. It's a tailored treatment plan. It's simple to sign up for your first visit. And the best part is there's no in-person appointments. It's amazing. And it comes packaged really cute. It has postcards and stickers. But the best part is the product's just really great, mostly because it's tailor-made for you. I told you Brady's always pointing out my little dark spots, which is so annoying. And when I was just in Nashville, I was like lathering on all my products because Brandi was like, your skin's looking dry. And I'm just like, okay. So anyway, this makes it so easy to take care of your skin. You simply fill out an online consultation about your skin goals and medical history, then snap a few selfies, which we do anyway, and a dermatology provider will create a customized treatment plan just for you and whatever your skin concerns are. We have a special deal for our audience right now. Get your first visit for only $5 insane at apostrophe.com/Cyrus when you use our code Cyrus. Again, that's a savings of $15. So this code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/Cyrus and get started. Then use our code Cyrus at sign up and you'll get your first visit for only $5. I mean, that is amazing. So thank you, Apostrophe, for sponsoring this episode.
There might not be an answer to this, but is there anything you do or keep in mind to separate like your personal solo artist songwriting and those songs and like when you write for other people? Or are the lines blurry and sometimes there's no strategy to it?
Oh, so not blurry at all. Because I think the more that I understood who I was as an artist, the more I understood, I know within, 4 lines of writing that song or 3 sounds if that song is going to be a song for me. Because that's just my particular sound. And the other thing about being a songwriter is this is more about being a great listener. And if I'm listening enough, we won't tell the same story. Everybody has a different perspective. And if you're listening hard enough and you're not, everything as a songwriter, everything that Tayla has experienced doesn't matter unless it's to feed your story and what you're trying to say. Because I could not agree with your perspective of love. I could not agree with how you handled a particular situation. I could not, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't really matter. Yeah. It's just like, how do I listen enough to you and pull enough information from you to make sure that whatever it is true. And if you are doing that, it will never be the same story. As like you telling me the same story will be completely different things, which is why I'm able to write for different people, because you just have to listen enough. And that's a different thing. And then as an artist, listening to myself, which is a whole different set of headphones.
Yeah. You know,
it's a very different thing, because like holding that little, it's way easier. You can talk to your friends and you're like, girl, this is what's going on. This is the tea, blah, blah, blah. This is what you need to do. When it's you, it's like, what the fuck do I do? Yeah. And do I even see the problem? And
totally.
It's all of these different things. So I'm very strategic with how I pull the information from an artist. And for my own artistry, I just have fun in a very different way. It's a freedom that I don't have to think about. The things that I enjoy about songwriting is that there's this bullseye that you have to hit in order for an artist to truly feel heard. You're taking all of their life experience and they're like, you get me, you know? And that is the bullseye.
That's cool.
Totally.
But there's none of those, all of those barriers that you have don't exist as an artist. So that makes for some wild music.
Wow. Yeah. All right. What's your favorite song you've written for you, and what's your favorite song you've written for someone else?
Gosh, you're asking me between all of my children.
That would be so hard.
I know.
Like I have like different songs for like different reasons in my life, depending on where I was, like as a writer. So like I remember, like probably 17 through 19, I was on this thing of like, I got to work with all of like the divas. I had to work with like the Mariahs, the Christina Aguileras. Like I had to work with like anybody that was like in that type of era. And so then I was just like, yeah, like those were my favorites of that time. But then now it's like, I'm really proud of the Panic at the Disco song for the reason that it was like, as a Black woman having a #1 rock song.
Yeah.
Was really like,
and that song was huge.
Yeah, it was a thing that was like, it was charting at the same time as the Ariana records, and I broke a record for having 3 out of 5 of the top 5 records at Billboard Hot 100.
And what was the third one?
The third one was, I want to say it was 7 Rings, Thank You Next, and Panic at the Disco.
That's the 2 Ariana songs. Wow.
Yeah. So it was like crazy, because like I really thrive with artists when I do full projects with them. When I'm like, let's lock in, let's build your world. Like that is the thing that's kind of always like, I've had the biggest records that way. And so, yeah, I would say that those ones were really like pivotal for sure. But there's so many different songs that it's like, and reasons like why this one was like important. Or like if I read my diaries and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to meet Alicia Keys for the first time. She wants me to come out to New York, and I read these things, or like, yeah, it's so different, I guess. And as an artist, my favorite song of mine right now would probably be Dream Hotel. And I think it's Dream Hotel mainly because like this project is also like, I'm playing the most instruments, being unafraid to be very musical in a way that like sometimes you can't do with pop music.
Sure.
And for me, like as a pop artist, I'm able to be like, as an artist, I'm like, okay, let's redefine what is pop anyway?
Totally.
So yeah, I would say Dream Hotel, because it's just like a little bit wild. Like, what is this hook? Like, it's not the typical Max Martin hook, you know?
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
Very cool. Should we play a little game?
Yes. We have to go back to Alicia though. Did you work with Alicia?
We did work. Yep.
Oh gosh, I love her.
She's incredible. Her and Swiss, like they just were so warm and just incredible people.
She is the kindest, most gentle soul. I just have to say that.
Yes.
Molly was with her on The Voice, so I spent a lot of time with her. And she just honestly, like, I just could not say enough nice things about her.
She's incredible.
And like, you know, it's somebody like from afar that you've seen and like, you know, Molly's looked up to, and you always hope they're nice. And kind. And, you know, because I've met a lot of people, but with Alicia, like there's just this, you talk about sunshine. Just like
so
literal, warmest, like just emits love. Like,
absolutely.
It's so crazy.
Absolutely.
And it was all the time. It was like,
it's not fake.
This is not
it's
fake.
Her.
This is not an act. Like she is just full of love.
It's her. That's exactly, you feel it the moment that she walks into the room. You're like, come on. It's giving that somebody just lit a candle. It's giving somebody just hugged me. Like, why did you set the scene?
Like, it is so crazy to me. Like, and my mom would be there and she'd come over and just be like doing her thing with my mom. And it was just amazing. But anyway, I just had to say, I love you, Alicia.
Yes, we love you, girl.
She's just so kind. But anyway, okay, let's play a game.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Virgo. Ooh, what's your sign?
Oh, I'm a Gemini.
I'm a Taurus, and Taurus and Virgo
Yes, we
are.
do.
Well, my boyfriend's a Virgo.
Yes, and also, yes, come on, that makes sense. My rise, because I'm my sun and my moon. My sun and my moon are both Virgo, and my rising is Gemini. People think I'm way more outgoing than I actually am, but it must be that Gemini.
It must be that Gemini, yeah. I was feeling like some air sign from you, from somewhere, so that must be it. Oh, yeah.
I wish I could do this. You got to give me this girl over here.
Well, you need to do your birth chart.
And I haven't done my birth chart.
Taurus, Sun, Cancer.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
Wow. It's giving you perceived as a bad bitch. And then you're also emotional.
But
then
totally.
Wow. Don't even get me started.
But yes, Taurus, one of my best guy friends is a Taurus.
Oh, yeah. Like Taurus and Virgo.
Yes,
they are.
we match.
My
We
moon's
match.
Taurus.
Yeah, we match. And but also Gemini. Gemini and Virgo, we match too, girl.
I know. Oh, I know.
I got to get more into this. Maybe for 2025, I've got to start learning more about.
Yes, download CoStar so that you can add
I do
me.
have that.
Okay.
I will add you.
Add me.
Okay, I'm going to get into this more.
Definitely.
Okay. Do you have CoStar?
I do.
Okay.
Come on.
Yes.
You know it.
Okay, we are going to play the most boring game called What's the Tea?
This don't sound boring.
The reason it's boring is it used to be called Truth or Toe. Because I was
very
this
stoned.
was used to be called Sorry We're Stoned, and I was very stoned, and it was so much fun, and now I'm not, and it's not as fun. But
What?
it's
I'm
still
like,
fun.
can we still get stoned later though?
You can.
Okay, you can watch me. Okay, we're gonna talk about this later.
It started giving me anxiety, and I'm
She's so close to smoking again. I'm telling you,
girl. It has been the hardest 8 months of my life.
This is the day that I'm afraid of, the death of the thing, because literally people always say that. They're always like, one day it turned on me, and I'm like,
I always heard that. I have heard that from so many people, and I was like, not me. Like it is like,
But
it does not make me anxious. It makes me anything but it makes like,
and now it got you.
and like that.
Oh hell no.
Oh hell no, I know. So I'm getting ballsy again. So I'm gonna give it a shot because I said my quality of life is just not the same.
Exactly. You like, I used to wake up, roll up,
have my coffee and smoke a J was like, to me that is just paradise.
That's so cute though that you're like, oh, I miss the old ways of the game.
Truth or toe. But okay, it's called What's the Tea? You were 12 years old when you played Lil Inez in Hairspray. Are you still friends with anyone you worked on that movie?
Yes, actually, Elijah. Every now and then I hear from Nikki. I probably haven't seen everybody else since then. And also I was very young. So everybody else was like out there going to the little bars and stuff like that. And I'm just like in the hotel room.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm most of the times I'm still connected, and a lot of the dancers as well.
Wow. I mean, that was just the most iconic thing ever to be able to be a part of.
Man, you always get scared, like if you're gonna do a movie remake of something,
Totally.
because it could go really,
It
really
goes
wrong.
so wrong, and it went so right.
I was very thankful. I was like,
Yeah.
phew, okay, we dodged. Well, I'm like 12 years old. Like, my career is still okay.
Oh my gosh, I need to watch that again because it really is just so much fun.
Yes,
That's good.
come on.
all right. If you had to pick,
Okay.
would you pick acting, songwriting, or performing if you could only choose one?
Ooh, that's no fun, Bran.
Well, I didn't make up the question.
Damn. I would do performing because at least I could songwrite the stuff I perform.
That's true.
Totally.
That's totally.
Whew, that was still a man. But then I would just miss so many other people. So I would just miss
The
it
good news
so
is you don't
much.
have to choose.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You
The
get to-
Virgo in me is
you
like,
get
but
to do
then
it
this is for
all.
real.
Which song that you've written for another artist feels the most personal to you?
Probably, it would definitely be one of the Janelle Monáe songs. I like that by Janelle Monáe. And that one, because like we have just lyrics about being like yeah, just sometimes I'm this and sometimes I'm that, and whatever I am, I accept what that is. And that was a time where, like, in that album too, was like the most she had talked about gender or sexuality, and so doing that whole project together when we both kind of were like exploring what does that like look like really helped something inside of me. I think kill as well, telling
Wow.
her story.
You really have been all across the
the
Crazy.
board. All right, which song that you've written for another artist do you secretly wish had been a solo track for you?
It's never happened.
Never?
Ever,
Wow.
ever. I've never even had a thing of like, I almost, it's like, yeah, never happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like it's just,
Impressive.
yeah, sounds different, I guess.
And I think that goes back to where you say that listening is everything, where you actually, when you listen to someone else's story, it doesn't really compare to your own.
Yeah, like you just say it a different way, or maybe when they say it, it sounds like piano is under it, and maybe when I say it, it sounds like guitar or violin.
Yeah,
like so it's just so many different like perspectives, and like I guess if there's any time where it's like me and Omar Apollo, we were doing a song like originally for like his thing, and then we ended up just doing something. I didn't put it out, but like it was a song that we just were playing piano and guitar together and singing, just because it just happened naturally. If it does start to creep into like, oh, this film, then let's maybe make it a feature.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the wildest thing that's happened while you've been building your farm?
Oh my goodness.
That you're BFFs with a 70-year-old.
Oh yes, that's definitely also a crazy thing. Like we gotta talk, before I tell you the craziest thing that happened, I gotta tell you about my neighbor John Cripps, because so I had G Flip over, and they basically were like, oh yeah, I'm from Australia, like I've never seen dragonflies or something like that. And my neighbor, I'm sitting here with John Cripps, well, like I said, is in his 70-year-old, and another neighbor, they're like, I never met a they them before. I love it. Like, and I'm just like, oh, John, he loved it. We're all barbecuing, and it's like I'm bringing some worlds together. And the fact that he said that and was just like, he loves it. He asks about them all the time. He's like, where's your friend G? G, how are they doing? And he respects everything about it. Like, it was pretty cool.
How cool at that age that you've brought this to his life.
He's literally like, okay, I'm here for it. And he's such a good guy.
I love that.
So the craziest thing that happened, besides meeting somebody who is just like, we're opening up each other's worlds in a lot of different ways. Definitely all of my animals getting out of the paddock.
Oh,
well, that happens a lot. One of my horses escaped this week. I was looking out my window and just saw him in the driveway down there. And I was like, oh my God, gotta go.
Oh my God. That is the thing, like just literally, all of them getting out and me having to learn how to use a trailer, and my goats and everybody like got out. They were down the freaking street, and my neighbors, they have like peacocks and stuff. So I'm just like, please, everybody get out here. Don't embarrass me. They're going to be like saying I'm not a real farmer. I was like feeling so scared about that.
Did you say peacock?
Yeah, they have a peacock, and they're like, sounds so weird.
That's so funny.
Diplo has a couple.
So does Wayne Coyne.
Oh.
Yeah, he has peacock.
Oh,
so funny.
Yeah. Too good. All right. What do you think is the farm thing that you've learned how to do that you're the most surprised you learned how to do?
Probably like using my tractor. Like using my tractor and like doing the backing up and reversing the trailer and all of that stuff, like which is really hard because you got to remember which way to turn the wheel.
I have to think about it every time.
Yes, and every time. One time I was trying to drop off my lawnmower, and like there was all these guys around watching, and I needed to run, and I was so nervous because I was like, they're all watching me, and
because they're definitely thinking
exactly.
I despise it, and it happens all the time. I despise it when I'm backing into a parking place or going, and a man starts telling me how to drive. Go be outside. They're like, and I'm like, if you get the fuck out of my rearview mirror, I can see where I'm going.
Exactly.
Like, girl, I'm from Eastern Kentucky. Don't tell me how to drive.
Oh my God.
It just happened not long ago. I was like somewhere.
You got to get your windows tinted so they can't see you.
I know. Yeah. And at the time, I was driving my big souped up four-wheeler with the big tight wiener. You're the wiener. But I was like, do you see what I'm driving? I do not need you to tell me how to reverse.
You are cracking
it drives me freaking nuts.
Oh
my God.
I completely feel you. I completely feel you. I completely feel you.
Yeah.
Is your trailer a bumper pull or a gooseneck?
It's a bumper pull.
Okay, mine those are tougher. They're more sensitive.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
So,
if you get a gooseneck, it's like not so like touchy.
Yes.
But the bumper pulls, it's like if you like are like a millimeter too far to the left, it'll like crank the whole trailer.
But it seems like a gooseneck is so hard to get on and off, or I don't know.
No,
It
it's easier.
looks hard.
All easier.
Okay.
Bumper pulls are way harder.
Maybe I will do
I have a
this
bumper
little
pull
gooseneck
too. I need a bigger truck so I can get a bigger trailer.
I got my little F-250. I was
Oh,
out
you got a
here
bigger
because
one
I
than
was
me.
taking my Tesla in the woods. I was out. I
Oh
was
my
like, boom, boom. Like
gosh,
literally,
that
my
is
parents. I was carrying wood in it. Like my Tesla,
I'm
like
cracking
it
up.
was my fucking like work truck.
That's
Like
too good.
it was crazy. My dad was like, "Stop taking that damn car into the woods." Like once I got stuck.
You love an F-250.
That's what we want a 350.
Oh.
I know.
Oh,
I was willing to settle for the 250, and then Matt was like, "Why stop there? We need
Gotta go all the way.
3,500." And I was like, "Okay, great."
Oh, I can't wait to come on over because I'm like this little truck situation sitting up high like this at 5'2".
It's nice.
I'm over here like,
Oh, I know.
yeah.
One of my best friends, her name's Gabby,
Uh-huh.
and teeny tiny, but bad bitch, CrossFit,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
whole thing. And she's in LA in a Ford Raptor,
and
it
it's
is
like souped
it is
up,
souped up.
lifted, like the whole deal.
Yeah.
And this tiny little girl
Come
gets out of it.
on.
It's
Here
cute.
she comes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
It
I'm
is
like,
good.
shoot, I'm about to sprain an ankle.
That's for sure. That's too good.
Hilarious.
Oh,
If you could invite any artist to your farm for a songwriting retreat, who would it be and why?
Well, it's got to be Miley. Wow.
Oh.
I'm like, we got to have somebody from the South. We got to have somebody actually talented. We got to have somebody who could sing because she be singing
Yes.
down.
I'll tell you
And
what,
right.
though, by the time she leaves, you'd have a ton more animals.
Oh, I know.
She'd start
Bring 'em on
collecting and just
down.
drop them right off to
Bring
you.
'em
She
down.
does tend to do that.
She does.
I like that,
Yeah.
though. I like that because that's
Ask
like,
me how many animals on this farm are mine.
Yeah.
oh, I can't wait to take a little, meet all of your donkeys and your different
Yeah.
animals. But yes,
You
that I'll
got
definitely
two
would
of
do that.
Noah's.
Yeah, two of mine if you count the dog.
And Noah, so Noah also has an animal thing. Like she loves animals
yeah,
too.
she showed horses. Brandi got her into that expensive
No,
sport.
you did.
I did.
Yeah, Noah. Like God forbid
I
we say
did.
no to Noah, and she was like, "I want to ride horses," and you were like, "Okay, Brandi, you're taking Noah to the horseback riding lessons."
Okay.
Like,
Well,
you greenlit it.
I feel like she got it from you, and but so yeah, two of Noah's horses are
I
here.
know,
Her
and all
first,
the rest,
her
are
first,
Miley's.
and her last.
Okay. Are you into animals as well? Do you have animals too?
I used to be more into animals than I am these days.
You're
Now,
like, I've done it.
I
Boring.
like simple life is better for me. I have two small dogs that also I didn't get,
Cat.
and I have a cat
Okay.
that was
You
a
also didn't
stray.
get.
But I do miss having a big dog. I will say that. I used to have a 125-pound German Shepherd that was all white, like so pretty. But
Come on.
he passed away like
Mm.
what? Gosh, 4 years,
Yeah,
5
it's been a minute now.
Mm. Yeah, the hardest.
hardest. Yeah,
Might be time to adopt that black German Shepherd that's
know.
needing a home.
I know.
Just saying.
Wait, did you see the same thing online?
Maybe
Not us having the same for you page because I was like, am I about to have another dog?
named a home? And that's what I said. I was like, what's one more?
Exactly.
Except
Sounds like
in
one of us is
LA, you
getting
got to scoop up that big old poo poo.
I know.
Uh,
I do not want to pick
Yeah.
up.
Here we
German
just let
Shepherd
'em out.
poo.
They
is that
just
I'm
go for
like
it.
fertilizer?
I know, right? Not quite. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, what's the craziest collaboration pitch you've ever received?
Well, that one I can't say because it's actually about to come out.
Ooh.
That one's gonna be crazy.
Spill the
I
tea.
can't. Probably the crazy. We'll talk about it after.
Okay.
Probably the craziest one definitely was like Anderson .Paak and Christina Aguilera. Like that one was a crazy mix, and that actually did come out, and we got Grammy nominated for best collaboration for that year. That one was the craziest thing, but it also made so much sense because they're both so musical. And so I was just like, oh, that. At first I was like, oh, really? But then I was like,
You're like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
it has to. And I love a crazy collaboration. I love when somebody's like, we need a Ed Sheeran, Britney Spears record, like whatever, something
Yeah,
weird,
yeah.
like,
Totally.
something random. Because I'm just like, okay, how do you bring it in? But that was probably for what I can talk about.
Okay.
Because the one that's coming is the new craziest.
Wow.
Okay, we love that.
Anderson is so talented.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I got to open up for him on tour. We did we did US and Europe together, and just being able to learn from somebody so incredible live.
Yeah.
It was just, it was a blessing. And he's also such a great guy.
I was getting ready to say he's right up there with Alicia as far as energy.
Absolutely.
Like his energy is insane.
Absolutely. And had to work so hard to get to where he is.
Yeah.
And like he just is so grateful. And just a great person.
Yeah. I love him.
Yep.
Wildest person that slid into your DMs.
The wildest person that slid into my DMs, Casey Musgraves.
I love
We love
Casey.
her.
Yeah, that was crazy. And like we still haven't worked. We just literally just DM every now and then or see each other out or whatever. But like, she had reached out saying that she was a fan of some of the Tayla made music, and I was just like, I love me some Casey.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, love me some Casey.
Yeah, that would probably be the wildest one.
That's cool.
She's so cool.
Yeah. She's a farm girl too.
She is.
I mean, she doesn't live on a farm,
That's
but
kinda how you all
from
met,
Texas, she's
right?
a horse girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is a dream artist you want to collaborate with that you haven't yet?
Adele.
Oh.
Like Adele will be the one that I'm like, I feel like we could do some fun shit together.
I love her.
Right?
Her music, yeah.
It's fire.
It really is.
It's fire. It's one of those artists that you are like, man, as a songwriter, you get with and you're like, don't fuck this up.
Seriously.
Because people love her.
That would be so intimidating, I feel like. That's probably like so good to challenge yourself to be in with somebody like an Adele.
Yeah, I want to do something that even challenges. I always want to do something that will challenge the artist to like, okay, what's the next? Tell me where we're evolving to next.
Yeah.
And so it would just be fun to be like, because she's so her. Like, you know exactly what you're getting into when you hear that. So I wonder what type of song would she have to do to shock people and be like, I did not hear this coming from Adele. I would want to write that song.
That would be so fun. What's a secret hobby or talent your fans don't know about? Probably that you raise chickens.
Definitely is giving the chickens and things like that, because literally I'm out here like with these, like, you just getting my hands dirty. I'm like, I never used to have scrapes and scraps on me, and now I'm like my little skin.
I've got
I'm like,
on my hands this week.
Oh my goodness, I'm out here now. But that would definitely be the thing.
Yeah. I would say so. When you walked in, that is not what I
know.
pictured you doing this morning.
Right. I was over here like, oh my God, the USDA, everything's got to be perfect.
Seriously.
That would make me scared. Okay, what's been the most surreal moment of your career so far?
I will go back a couple Grammy award shows ago, because the most surreal moment was when I was sitting on the floor with my mom at the Grammys, like the first time we did that, because I remember the first time I ever went to the Grammys, we won tickets on the radio show. My mom called a radio station, and we were in the car, and she was like, my daughter, like she wants to like do music, and she's gonna be like doing this, and we really want these tickets.
Wow.
You know, and it's like making me a little bit emotional right now, but yeah, the fact that she called and like did that, and then, you know, years later, I always take my mom like with me now. The fact that we were able to be on the floor together and numerous nominations, and, you know, be there, that's always like a surreal moment for me.
That's very freaking
That
cool.
is so sweet.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If your life were a song title, what would it be right now? You look so good in love.
Come on!
Tish, that was decent. That was decent.
Yes, it was absolutely.
That makes me want to choke up. I miss my mama.
I know.
Yeah. You get it.
No, so I'll let you take it.
That was good though.
That was good though. I'm like, I don't know if I can beat that one.
I know.
What would my song? Wait, tell me one more time. What would it be?
Yeah. What would your song title be if it were about your life right now?
I don't know. I can't beat what you just did, because that's the one.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Awesome fire. Also
You're
fire.
welcome. It's the answer for you. Okay, last question. If you could be the lead character in any movie, which movie would it be?
I don't know. This one is a hard one. I'm just trying to think. I'm like, I've never seen a movie before.
I'm sitting here in my mind thinking too. I'm like, what would I be?
I know. I always said I would love to be an Avenger. I always love the Avengers. But I'd also like one of my favorite movies is Interstellar.
Oh.
So like I can't think of like which role I would want to play, but I would just love to have been in that movie.
Okay, people freak out because I've never seen it.
Mom!
I know, I
It's one of
haven't.
the
Why haven't you
best
seen it?
movies.
Have you been avoiding it? It's really good.
Is it?
It's really, really good.
It's sick.
Who's in it?
Matthew McConaughey, Jessica Chastain.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I
Mom,
love
it's an
her.
incredible movie.
Okay, I've got to see it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll watch that tonight.
I would be with anything with Jessica Chastain.
She
first
is
of all.
amazing.
First of all,
Yeah.
let's start there.
Oh yeah, maybe I'd be her in Molly's Game.
Ooh.
She was such a bad ass in
Yeah,
that.
facts.
She was bad in that. I loved her in that.
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's escaping you.
It's escaping me.
That's
I'm
okay.
like,
We
what
tortured you
movies
enough,
do
I
I
feel
even
like.
like?
We really
I'm like,
have.
now-
We have time for the
This
DMT?
has been
Yeah.
so much fun. Come on
We
now.
got one more thing.
We got one more.
have to do this.
Let's see.
So I'll
Oh.
explain it this time. We have
thought it
a
was a video.
segment called Dear MT, Mama Tish, and the Stoners. That's still our
Mhm.
like our listeners are called Stoners. They write in and ask me for advice. But when we have a guest, we all kind of chime in. So
Let's go.
Well, it's just like a written one, so I'm just gonna read it.
okay,
This one's from Princess. Do we think that's a real name? Do we think? I don't know, but I love it.
Okay.
And Princess says, "Hey, my beautiful girls, could you make a Spotify playlist of your favorite 80s rock and roll music, please? And send us the link to the playlist, obviously. I know that Tish loves the song Girls, Girls, Girls from Motley Crue.
don't
Love
you
ya.
know it? I mean, for like who? What's her? Oh, Princess.
Princess.
Girl, this is a dream come true. Now, the only thing better would be if I was smoking a big doobie while doing it. That's not going to happen. But this is fun. I
Well,
can't.
I'm giving this task to you.
Oh,
This
I'm
is
on it.
All you,
Exactly.
girlfriend.
It's going to be a long one.
Great. I'm sure they'd love
Okay,
that.
great. I'm absolutely on it.
Okay.
And I've been listening to there's just so many
Mm.
like great songs from the 80s.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yes, I just watched a yacht rock documentary that was like
Ooh.
so good.
I need to watch that.
It's so good. It's on HBO. They have like, I don't know, like a lot of different people in there, and it's really, really good.
Wait, who was calling Caddy? Who was saying yacht rock? Molly. Who was saying that?
And like this is the thing to me. I'm like, doesn't everybody call it yacht rock? Like,
I don't know. I have never heard that.
Okay, now this is what making a lot of sense. So the people in the documentary that came up with yacht rock had never heard of it either.
I hadn't.
Because it's something that was coined by a completely different generation. And so now I'm like, so y'all wasn't calling it yacht rock. What was y'all calling this music? Soft rock?
I was calling it hair metal. Like
Hair metal.
Like I'm like Motley Crue.
Okay,
Poison,
you
John
weren't listening
Bon Jovi.
to yacht rock. That's why.
Oh,
You're like,
yeah.
this is some cute shit.
Okay.
I need some like.
Oh, that's what I like. Metallica, like all
Exactly.
the real 80s.
Exactly.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
like,
Okay. But yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
She is-
Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna need this playlist
Oh,
too.
dear Lord, I love it so
I'm gonna
much.
need
You
this
should see
playlist.
me in LA. I have my window. Used to be smoking it too. And like, I'm all about it. Like
Yeah.
my 80s music flying down the 101.
Come on. Yes.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
You still
living the
can
dream.
be Tiz.
Living the freaking dream.
You can. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, y'all.
This has been so fun. Is there anything the fans can be on the lookout for from you this year?
Be on the lookout for new music, new tailor-made music and new Tayla Parx music, honestly. So both for writing for other people and more solo stuff. There's a film coming out this year or maybe
Whoa.
next year. Can't really even say much about that yet because they haven't even announced it, but yeah, some more musicals coming, and yeah, I'm excited.
Sick. We love that. Well, thanks again.
You
and
are busy.
Man, it's a blessing. You know, I'm trying to find the balance and just
Seriously, yeah.
keep it there.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see your future donkeys.
Yes!
I know. Yeah.
All right. Well, stoners, we love y'all. And we'll see you next week.
Love you. Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation and Hopetown Entertainment.